Word for you today. It's Wednesday, middle of the week. Your limited window of opportunity. We have no idea how long we're going to live. I have more days behind me than I have ahead of me. So, times of opportunity, they're less than they used to be. In Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 9, it says, "Be careful, watch yourselves closely, so that you do not forget the things your eyes have seen, or let them slip from your heart as long as you live. Teach them to your children and to their children after them." God is preparing His people to go into the promised land, preparing them how to live free for the first time in their life. He's not really teaching them anything new. It's things they already knew. What He's teaching them is to remember. You know how we learn through repetition. We learn through repetition. We learn something, and then if we're not taught it again, we tend to forget it. Why do you think advertisers spend billions of dollars every year? It's to keep their product in front of us. A man named Robert Fulghum wrote this. He says, "Most of what I really needed to know about how to live, I learned in kindergarten." Wisdom was not at the top of the graduate school mountain, but there in the sand pile at Sunday school. These are the things I learned. Share everything. Play fair. Don't hit people. Put things back where you found them. Clean up your own mess. Don't take things that aren't yours. Say you're sorry when you hurt someone. Wash your hands before you eat. Flush. Warm cookies and cold milk are good for you. Live a balanced life. Learn some and think some. And draw and paint and sing and dance and play and even work some every day. Take a nap every afternoon. When you go out into the world, watch out for traffic. Hold hands and stick together. Be aware of wonder. When our kids are young, remind them of what they have seen. We read verse 9 in Deuteronomy 4. Listen to verse 10. Remember the day, God says, Moses is telling the people, remember the day you stood before the Lord your God at Mount Horeb, when He said to me, assemble the people before me to hear my words, so that they may learn to revere me as long as they live in the land, and may teach them to their children. He says, remember. Remember that day. Remember what you heard. There are things we need to remember. Remember what we've seen. And then we need to remember things we haven't seen. Verse 11. You came near and you stood at the foot of the mountain while it blazed with fire to the very heavens, with black clouds and deep darkness. Then the Lord spoke to you out of the fire. You heard the sound of words, but saw no form. There was only a voice. Remember the things you didn't see. Sometimes we can learn a lot from things that we cannot see. And as we teach our children, we teach our grandchildren, teach our nieces and nephews and others, there are things to remind them of, things they already know. Be kind. Wait your time in line. Don't take things that aren't yours. Clean up your own mess. All those things that Robert Fulghum reminds us of. One way we teach them is reminding them of things that they've seen. The second thing is reminding them of things they haven't seen. You say, well, what are you talking about? We worship a holy God that we cannot see. We're taught about a holy God. There are sometimes God has worked in my life, and I know He's worked in your life. And He's done things, and we couldn't see Him. But we need to remember that a God we couldn't see rescued me from this situation. A God we can't see provided me this opportunity. A God we couldn't see reached out to me in love. So, in the short time that we have with our kids, grandkids, nieces and nephews, help them to remember what they've seen. but also help them to remember things they haven't seen. Have a good day.